Not long now, Stevie, in a matter of, hours now, Celtic will return back here, back in action against Hibernian. Monday night football in the Scottish Premiership, and we don't get to say that very often. We've got a video for you today with plenty of chat ahead of the game, team news, chat about Hibernian, some of our favourite games against Hibs, loads of stuff happening, so you may as well stay tuned. So Ange says he doesn't know the difference between XG and XL, so I thought it was fitting that we would get the original Mr. XL on the channel. Stevie, good to have you back on.
Good to be back on, but I have to say, everyone, and hello, it's XXL, because before I came to meet you today, the sausage, bean and cheese melt from Greg's.
It's back. Just like Celtic.
Yes, so that's back, Celtic are back, we're back. It's a wonderful weekend and a great future lies ahead. Thanks for that.
How was the humble bake?
Truly one of the greats, honestly.
Nice.
And it wasn't, I've always got to have my Greg's lukewarm, and it was perfect. So, I mean, I'm sure this isn't the Greg's.
I'm thinking of all the Aussies watching this who have no clue what Greg's is. How would you describe Greg's to people down under?
It's just one of the truly great sort of snacks outlets of the world. I mean,
bakery.
Well, it's a snack outlet to me, but it is. It's really, I would say if you haven't had a Greg's, it's probably one of the only few reasons to move over to Glasgow and like stay here for a while, isn't it?
There's so many Greg's here, you can't move for Greg's in Scotland. But let's move on and chat about the football. It's a while since Celtic have actually been here. December the 12th was the last time, that home game against Motherwell. I was thinking about that game actually, and do you remember the whole Bernard Higgins thing that seems like it's a long time ago? Yeah. Mainly because it is. That was still rumbling on at that stage. Monday night is going to be the first time we've been here when I would say the full focus has been on what's happening on the park, but it's been so long since Celtic Park has been full, and it's going to be amazing. It's got all the ingredients, if you will, for it to be a great evening.
Food related pun again, but no, it is. I think it's well known, everybody, that how much I've been looking forward to going, just like all you fans as well, just like Hamish here. I think everyone is just so buzzing to be back, and you know, we were talking about it just before we went on air here, weren't we, Hamish? We were saying like on a Monday in January it'll be freezing cold, midweek kick-off. When was the last time you really saw it? It's going to be a capacity crowd and everybody can't stop talking about it. And I think a lot of that's down to the uncertainty as well, that we didn't know if we were going to be here as well. We weren't sure what the future was going to be for fans, and we got the great news last week, and it just goes to show, you know, moving that break was the best thing just for all football fans in Scotland. And generally, I don't think anybody like ourselves are going to be complaining about it, but the news was very welcome, and I'm just really going to be so happy to get back to Celtic Park again, just like everyone else. It will be a brilliant feeling.
Who would have thought it was a good decision to bring the winter break forward couple of weeks, eh? Who would have thought it? As I say, the ingredients, if you will, tomorrow night are, first of all, you're up against, you know, a Hibs side, and Hibs coming to Celtic Park is always a big game regardless of what season it is. The fact they are managed now by Sean Maloney, a player who was, I think, really liked at Celtic. People still have, you know, good things to say about Sean Maloney. High hopes, perhaps, that he'll be a future Celtic manager if he does well. Gary Caldwell obviously coming back as well. The fact that it's been so long since we've been here, the fact it's an evening game under the lights always, I think, adds a bit to the glamour, and the fact that we've got all these new signings, you know, 3 new signings. I think 2 of them will actually start the game. Yeah. And there's not many more exciting things as a football fan than seeing new players playing for your club. So it's just got all the ingredients to be, you know, a really special evening. Do you think Celtic are going to come back and hit the ground running straight away, or do you think, given that we still have some injury concerns, Kyogo, you know, Julian's not back yet, Jota, big question marks over whether he'll play, could it take us a bit more time, and could it be, you know, a repeat of kind of what we witnessed in December with maybe narrow victories?
I think the break maybe has me edging towards the fact that Andrew want the players to hit the ground running and for them to produce the football that we know they're capable of, such as what we saw in the start of the season that a lot of Celtic fans are dying to see again. I think first and foremost though, we just need a win. Just, you know, like we were saying in the winter break, the winter schedule, that's the main focus and priority. But yeah, if we can play the football we know that the manager's capable of and the players are capable of, then that'd be a bonus as well. But I think we will. I think we'll set the tempo on Monday, like from the off.
Yeah.
I think as well, when you look at the front three that we're going to be talking about, who's going to be starting, I think when you look at that front three, they'll take the game to Hibs. So I am predicting that we'll come roaring out the blocks, Hamish.
Hopefully. That's the league table there, everyone. So as you can see, we can bring the gap down to 3 points if we win on Monday night. And given that Rangers go to Pittodrie on Tuesday, that could, put a bit of pressure on. The first time in a while that we've been playing first. From memory, we've been playing catch up.
Yeah, you're right.
All of December. So this is a real chance to put a bit of pressure on. I don't know why it's Monday night and not Tuesday night. There's no reason because it's not on telly here, but we'll take it.
For once, let's not question things. Let's just accept them how they are. And also as well, just so we know, Aberdeen have won the last 3 games at Pittodrie too. So if we win on Monday, bit of pressure on them going there. It won't be an easy match at all. But I know we're not focusing on them.
Predicted 11 time then. Let's hear your team first and see how different it is from mine.
Okay, so a welcome return for Joe Hart. Greg Taylor at left back, CCV and Carol Starfelt in the middle. I'm going to say Juranovic at right back. Callum McGregor, Rio Hatate and Tom Rogic as our midfield 3.
Okay.
And I know we have different opinions on the front 3, but I'm going to say Daz and Maeda will start on the left, Jota on the right, and a fly one here, Leila Bada through the middle. Now I'd rather it was Kyogo through the middle, but I don't think he's going to be fit, and it's not worth risking him after we saw at McDermott Park what happened there. You want Kyogo 100%.
There's no need to risk him.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want him breaking down again. So I think Abada will get chances through the middle, especially when if Jota and Maeda start. So I'm going to go with that. What about you?
I think we're pretty much the same. Hart, Juranovic, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Carol Starfelt, Greg Taylor, same midfield 3 of McGregor with Rogic and Hatate in front. Abada on the right, I'm saying I think Jota, if he's fit, the huge asterisk of whether he's fit, on the left, and Maeda up front. I think if Jota's not fit, he might, Ange might go for Maeda off the left and GG up front, because I think he really likes Giakoumakis. And I think Giakoumakis would have been fit for the derby had it been on the 2nd of January, so there should be no question marks over him being fully fit for this. So I think that's the team we might see. We, believe it or not, do some notes and a bit of prep work for these videos. I know it doesn't often look like it, but that's the case. And we both had the same point written down, which I think is quite interesting. It's a big evening for Carol Starfelt.
It is. Well, will I just go here?
That was my question.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, especially after Carol Starfelt had a very shaky start to his Celtic career, as we know, everyone. And I was a huge critic, but he won me over. We had some excellent performances from him, like against Hearts as well. And I think everyone was saying he turned it around. Then we go to Dingwall, where Jordan White assaults him. And he was never quite the same after it. That cup final, he got out of jail because, by all accounts, I mean, it was a nightmare, one of our worst performers. We still got the win though, so thanks to the team for that. And then after it, we game at McDermott Park.
Poor again.
He was poor for that, for the goal. But I feel a lot of people also exaggerate and say how poor he is. Now I get it. He has got a scare in him, as much as he's generally a solid player and all that. And we probably could upgrade on him. And we've got Chris Julian returning as well. I know that's something you want to talk about. But for now, I would still persevere with Carol Starfelt. I hope after this break, that he's re-energised, refocused. Because one of the things we've got noted down as well is Kevin Nisbet is going to sniff out any weakness at all. He tore him apart as well in that cup final. He was unlucky not to score. Probably would have if it wasn't for Joe Hart in goal. You'd imagine Nisbet will sniff out any weakness at all. Starfelt has to be on top form. I'm very confident in him though. But the thing is, we do have options now, Hamish, and if those type of performances do continue, we've got Chris Julian coming back too, which isn't a bad option to have at all, and I know you're a huge fan.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Julian, and I think he's a player who'll come back and be steady. I like Starfelt in general, but the one criticism I've got about him is that even when he's having a good game, he has lapses in concentration and gives the opposition chances, and I think we see that. I remember Ferencváros here, the Tuesday afternoon game. He had a great game and still nearly sold a goal right at the end. I remember it well. Joe Hart had to run back and make a good save. So I always think, even the Hearts game, I think when he was great, he had one moment in the second half. He always offers you up something, not too dissimilar from what Dedrick Boyata was for us. I think he was a good defender for Celtic, but had moments in every, not every game, but every couple of games, you always felt there was a chance that he would have a blunder. And for me, Julian and Cameron Carter-Vickers will be the two going forward. But I think for now, it's a big evening tomorrow for Starfelt. Can we move on to Daizen Maeda? I just think tomorrow night is set up for Maeda to shine. He is, a player who's come in. We've been told by anyone who knows him or knows about him that this guy is going to be the one out of the three that will hit the ground running. The other two, Hatate might take some time to get to the great potential he has. Ideguchi's probably a bit of a punt from Ange, if we're totally honest. Maeda sounds like he's the one who can come in right away and offer something to this Celtic team. And I think his movement, you think about how Kyogo started for Celtic teams, just couldn't live with him. Dundee here, didn't have a clue. I think we could see something similar to that when Maeda plays on Monday night.
Yeah, I think it's just the blistering pace of Maeda that I'm really looking forward to seeing. I saw everyone, like all you guys on the YouTube videos, I've watched the videos with Sam, how he was describing him, and my pals I was out with last night from So Red Odyssey. I was actually posed a question to them because, like you, Hamish, I'm excited to see him, and we were talking about the game tomorrow. I said, look, Maeda, is there a chance that he's going to maybe take 2 or 3 games to get up to speed? And I was laughed at. Everyone, you'll be glad to hear, I was laughed at as always.
I often feel that way.
Yeah, well, my 2 friends who do the pod, who watched him for the last 6-7 months, were saying, not a chance. You'll see in the first opening 15 minutes that he'll be the one player that will just hit the ground running, and there's no doubt whatsoever that Maeda is going to slot in very well at Celtic. And like you, Hamish, like everyone else, I'm just so excited to see Maeda.
I can tell, mate, I can tell.
I'm really buzzing to see him, and it's just another reason why I think we're just so up for being here on Monday.
I've not seen you this excited since you were standing in the Greg's queue at 10:30 this morning. I've got to lower the tone though. I'm really sorry. Some horrendous news. Willie Collum will referee the game tomorrow night. We've just heard that. I'm not over it yet. But we'll see how that goes. Hibernian team news. Paul McGinn is missing after his wee crybaby comments after the cup final. He's been given a 2-game ban.
Thoughts and prayers.
Ryan Porteous, or Porto, is also suspended. I think he was sent off against Aberdeen. Ewan Henderson also won't be able to play against us because he is only on loan right now, obviously signing permanently in the summer. Hibs have also signed striker Elias Melkerson from Bodo Glimt. Defender Harry Clark on loan from Arsenal. He had been at Ross County, of course, earlier this season. Player. And also Rocky Bashiri, who's also a centre-back on loan from Norwich. So they do have options to fill the gaps where Porteous and McGinn won't be playing. They are 5th in the table at the moment. They've won 2 out of 2 under Sean Maloney so far. Good wins too, home to Aberdeen, away to Dundee United.
Different ones as well. Different because they had to grind it out at home to Aberdeen, but they were very impressive at Tannadice. They won 3-1 and watched them in the highlights. They look very good against Dundee United, and I think that's how they will come here and set up. I don't think they'll sit in. I think they'll actually take the game to us, which could be a very good game of football on Monday.
Right, we'll move on then to some memorable Celtic Hibs memories. I was kind of going through the history books of games against Hibs here, and the vast majority of games I remember against Hibs were at Easter Road. There's not been as many here. There's a few. The one I remember, to again lower the tone, the one that kind of sticks out when I first think Hibs coming here is actually a defeat the last time.
Let me guess, 3-1, 2005?
No, okay. I was about 4 years old at that stage, so... Yeah, 2010, Danny Galbraith, I think was the player's name who scored the late winner for
last
them
minute, wasn't it?
Under Tony Mowbray. Some memories without kind of looking back at the actual results at that stage. I think that had obviously been an awful season. I think we were kind of starting to show a wee resurgence at that stage. I seem to remember we played Hearts maybe the previous midweek or 2 weeks prior, beat them here. I think Rangers dropped points that night, and there was a feeling, God, we can still maybe do this. And that was the final, the nail in the coffin for us that season with Hibs coming here. Still don't know how we lost that game. That's the last time Hibs beat us here at Celtic Park.
Yeah,
so you're talking, 12 years ago now.
Okay, the one I'm talking about that game, yeah, I do remember it. In fact, did Anthony Stokes not score to make it 1-1 as well in that match? I'm sure he did.
Could have.
He was still putting
I think Fortuny scored for us.
Yeah.
Early goal, I think 3 or 4 minutes.
Well, I was looking at the stats on it where you have to go back to December 2003 for the last time that we truly thumped Hibs. We won 6-0 in that match, and Lennon scored the goal against Hibs, one of his few.
Yeah, it was a screamer.
It was a decent goal. It was a lob over Nick Hogan, but I think that might have been 2001.
Right.
But so we last beat thumped Hibs 6-0 back in 2003. Other than that, games against them here have been pretty tight, and I know we beat them 3-0 last season, which was one of a few decent performances. The game that I chose as the standout was in August 2006. you would have been 6 or something, no doubt then. But I'll talk you through it. Celtic had just signed Jan Vennegoor of
Yep, I've got it written down here.
Have you? Yes, there we go, everyone. Hamish is ahead of the game.
I was at the game. It was Jan's. I remember he had a song from PSV, Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink.
But there was a far better song that was out,
Was
and
there?
we never adopted that one. It was by a DJ. I'll tell you all after. I can't remember the name. I'm not going to embarrass myself on the channel and pronounce it because it will come out
He
terribly.
came on as a sub,
Mhm.
didn't he? And he
Scored.
scored, and it couldn't have sat. I think Kenny Miller maybe with a shot off the post.
McGeady.
So it was with a shot off the post, and it sat up. It was an absolute tap in.
Yeah.
3-2 that game.
It was, but Scott Brown, he made it 1-0 that game. Lee Naylor, it was his debut as well. Lee
Right,
Naylor
okay.
was awful in the first half. Second half, came right onto a game and he set up Maciej Juravsky to make it. I don't even state that pronunciation there. Sorry everybody, I'm not going to redo it, okay? Set up Juravsky to make it 1-1 and then Big Jan with the winner. It was a great moment and Jan never looked back. What a season he ended up having. But that always stands out as a real classic game against Hibs and back in 2006, jeez.
You were just celebrating your 25th birthday at that stage.
Anyway, moving on.
The game in 2018, 4-2 win here is probably the one that sticks out from recent seasons. It was at that stage when we were really having troubles away from home under Brendan Rodgers. But I think it was his third season, but we were still battering any team that came here. I remember Kelly came here and get cuffed, Hibs came, and it was 4-2, but we hit the post, I think, 4 times. Tom Rogic scored a screamer after a few minutes. James Forrest was brilliant. Olivier Ncham had a great game. Odson Edward, I think, scored a double that day. Canberry actually scored a really good goal for Hibs.
Martin Boyle, one of his few goals against us too.
So that game, that's the one that sticks out for me recently. But it's kind of slim pickings a wee bit. If we were to say Hearts, you'd have so many here. You'd be
far more options, yeah.
But for whatever reason, the games have been a little bit forgettable. I remember a 2-2 draw as well in like 2011 or 12, and I think Lustig scored both of our goals.
That's right.
And it was a 2-2 here under Rodgers as well, and McGinn and McGregor scored the 2 goals. So going back to tomorrow, prediction time, Stevie, can I push you for one?
You sure can. I'm going to say Celtic will win 2-0. I think the clean sheet will be important for that defence, especially Starfelt. And you're going to ask me who's going to score. So
who's going to score?
I think Diaz and Maeda will score, and
That's
I
one.
think Tom Rogic will get the other. That's my prediction.
Excited to see Hatate?
Yes. You know, I think Hatate is going to be a star for us too. But Monday will be about Maeda. He'll hit the ground running, and I think he'll score.
Good stuff.
What about you?
Thank you. 3-1 I'll go for. 3-1. I think Maeda might score. I can see Rogic scoring as well, and take your pick for the third goal. I think it'll be a good game. I think Hibs will come and play. Maloney won't just sit in, and I think that could really give us chances to hit them in the break. So exciting stuff. You're impressed after the game as well, hopefully getting to chat to the manager. So big opportunity for GigPod, of course. Stevie's from GigPod, by the way. I don't say that nearly enough. For me, certainly one of the best Celtic podcasts, if not the best Celtic podcast. I'll link their latest show down in the description because you're a great podcast, and I appreciate you coming on again, mate. Hope it goes well tomorrow night. Speaking of tomorrow night, we're going to have a live reaction of sorts, probably me and John, something like that, so keep an eye out for that after the game. Hope you have a good weekend. If you're going to the game tomorrow night, enjoy it. If you're not, remember, it's available on pay-per-view if you live in Ireland or Britain. And come on the hoops.